Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the show about nothing. I'm your boy, Junes 80 to the 8 in Senior, Izzy P. What's cracking, brother?
The baby-faced assassin has returned yet again.
Dude be shaving his beard off. Dude be having the luscious beard and be shaving it off, man. If I could have if I could grow a beard like that, my beard could grow full like that, I would never shave it.
Bro, like my beard used to grow longer, but as time went on, my beard has officially decided to just go. It's just tight.
You didn't take care of it when you had it. You didn't embrace it. You didn't embrace it. You didn't appreciate it. God gave you a luscious beard. He gave you a luscious beard. And this how you treat that beard action.
You know what though, man? If the Lord will allow me to have that luscious beard back to where I can grow it out again and make it a little more fuller, I will take better care of it.
Man, look, I got this going right here, but once this is good, once this coming the way I want, it just straight, man. Look. Don't let this everything show that, yo, you ain't gonna recognize me. I'm gonna act a fool. I'm gonna be like, yo.
This man right here said, if I am able to have everything grow out, I'm a brand new person.
Beard? Hey, man, like a beard. My God bless it. My dad had a beard. My mom, like, your daddy beard was mean. It was a mean beard. Like, yes. My dad beard was mean.
You trying to get like that one day?
Oh yeah, I'm gonna get it like that one. I'm gonna trust the process. I'm gonna take my time. I don't want to cause I heard them hair bumps as a mother.
Yeah, them artificial helpers, bro. Like they're great to help you out, but like
I'm talking about the hair bumps. You get them hair bumps.
Oh yeah, oof. Yeah.
Ain't wrong. Like, yo, man, like I would have to go to a special, like, yo, get that beard treated every 2 weeks. Yeah, get that. Nah. But yo, man, what's been cracking with you, bro? Like there's a lot of stuff going on. I've been working on a lot of stuff, but let's start with you first. What's going on? But what's cracking with you? How's life?
Man, installing TVs like always. Just
installing TV, that's all. I mean, what else happened? Let's talk about it. Let's talk about where you installed the TV. Let's talk about it. Mr. Illusion TV, whatever you call it. Elevated TV. Let's talk about that. Let's talk about it. Because that's a very funny story. That's the second time with something with a TV that happened to you. And you was in vicinity. I think it's you. I think you got some bad juju with TVs.
It's not my fault.
Yeah. So what happened? So the last wasn't your fault either.
No, okay, so the first one wasn't my fault to begin with.
Okay, but this one wasn't your fault either.
I kind of got to claim this one.
Okay, let's talk about what happened this time. Let's tell the people what happened this time.
All right. So this one we're installing 85-inch TV.
Damn, it's a TV.
85-inch TV. And we're installing it over a floating TV stand. It's not like a regular TV stand, but like you mount it on the wall and it looks like it's floating or whatever, right?
Right.
The TV stand had a audio receiver and a center speaker on top of it. And we were pretty much getting everything situated. We had just got the stuff on the TV, got the mount up on the back piece on the wall, and we're getting ready to put the TV on the wall, right?
Right.
Holding onto the TV. And I'm told, hey, we're going to have to hold the TV for a second. And I'm like, what's going on? It's like, well, we got to connect everything up. We got to connect these HDMIs and whatever. And then we're going to throw the TV up there. I'm like, all right, cool. So we pick the TV up, we get it going. And I set my hand on the edge of the dang TV stand. Now mind you, I'm holding on the TV. My hand is resting on it. And I'm trying to get my hand in another spot. I'm trying to switch my hand so I can go ahead and just, throw it on the wall without no issues.
Right.
I rest my hand on the dang TV stand, and all of a sudden I hear popping. And I'm like, I hear more popping, and I'm like, uh-oh. So I try to hurry up. I move my hand slightly, too late. TV stand on my side crashes. Center speaker crashes, all on my right knee.
How's your knee?
It's fine. Thankfully, it happened quickly, and it hit in a place where there was no structural damage. There was no real damage to it. It was just there's a few scratches, few little cuts, but my knee is fine. It's just after we kind of cleaned up the mess and we were putting everything back together again, you know, trying to mount the TV stand back on the wall and trying to get the center speaker and audio receiver back going again. I had to go outside and get a couple of things so we can get this thing situated. Um, I was feeling like a little weirdness in my right knee, like a little tightness, but like not too tight to where like I can't put no weight on it, but I felt something was there. So I go outside and I go to check my kneecap because I'm grabbing my knee and I'm like, something don't feel right. I, you know, lift up my pant leg and I noticed that my knee got swollen.
Damn.
My knee was swollen up a bit. Like I can like when I grabbed my knee the first time, I could feel like the bone and everything. Like I could feel like how you normally feel your knee if you kind of like move it around a bit. When I grabbed my right knee, I was grabbing nothing but like just puffy.
That dude, they had to bring the blue tent out. Yo, Eds, come here, go in the blue tent. He got to put the towel around his neck. He's going into the blue tent, guys. Going to the blue tent.
Yeah, literally. But now, like my partner was like,
blue tent. Put the medicine in the knee.
My partner was like, "You good?" And I was like, "Yeah, I think I'll be fine." He's like, "All right, bet. Let's go ahead and get this thing fixed."
Right on, right on.
Got everything fixed up. Got everything situated. Got the TV up there. But you know, other than that, though, bro, everything's been smooth on this side. You know, it's been chill for the most part. Pretty much just counting down the days, the hours, the minutes, because we got the big game coming up within this weekend.
And with me, like I feel like my week has been very, very productive.
Yeah, you've been telling me you got some new stuff working on now.
Dude, like the stuff I have, like music wise, it's like I told my homegirl, the one I told you about. I was telling her like, yo, I think I work better in project mode. Like I could drop a single, but I think I thrive more with projects. I think I could put more creativeness into a project, which I like dropping singles. I feel like it's fast paced. I can knock those out quick, but like the way I feel my brain works, I automatically go on the projects. Like after I do so many singles, okay, let me do a project. But this, I already got stuff already like in the chamber. Okay, I got 2 songs like already thrown in, but I got 3 new songs, and like you've already heard a few of them.
Of course, you're keeping me in the loop.
And so, but like this stuff I have, like it's like, man, you bringing the funk. And then with that, I got my camera guy's back in effect. I just talked to him this morning. I text him, I'm like, yo, hit me up later on the day. He called me immediately, like I'm on my way to work. But yo, yeah, he told me all the stuff he get equipment wise, re-up on equipment. Like, yo, you know, I want to work with you first, cause me, that's my boy. We with the college together. That's my dog. So I'm like, yo, he back in the fence. Like, we about to get to work. So I got a lot of stuff coming, like a lot of stuff. Like I feel like, you know that feeling when you feel like accomplished, like, yes, I got stuff.
Oh yeah.
And like I feel like very, very like blessed and thanking God. It was like a few weeks. I said, God, let me just bless me to get some music done. Cause I was like in a dry patch for a while.
Mm-hmm.
I get into a funk, then I get back into a funk. Like I just been knocking out stuff. Like, all right, boom, knocking out songs left and right. Like, all right. And especially the one I'm talking about now, I knocked that mug out like quick. Like that was like the fast. I wrote it on a Monday, recorded on Tuesday, recorded the next verse that next day, then the next verse. Like I knocked that out quick. But yeah, I'm on the speed. I'm on a wave right now, man. Like I'm on a wave. But speaking of waves, I got a key point I want to talk about before we get into what we want to talk about.
Okay, talk to me.
I saw this on Undisputed. Now, San Francisco, the 49ers are unhappy with the condition of the Super Bowl practice field. My question, is that a fact or an excuse? Because last year, they said when the Eagles played, my Philadelphia Eagles played Kansas City, and like, yo, the field, the Super Bowl field, there was something wrong with the field. Like the grass wasn't grassing. Everything was just, they felt like they edged it it came out like they was edging it to Kansas. So now, is this an excuse if the playing conditions ain't fair for them?
So I would I would say air to caution on even going that route. This is just the practice field. This isn't the actual playing field. Let's leave it at that. This isn't the actual field that they're going to be using for the Super Bowl.
Cause I reason I ask is because it was brought to my attention. They like, yo, we didn't get to practice the way we wanted to practice our plays, and that's why this didn't run that way because of the practice field, so we couldn't get it going in the regular game. I just want to say, like, I don't want no excuses if some, if the
the practice. Like I get the essence. I get the whole idea of like we want our practice field to be as pristine as possible. I get it. And I also understand that they're not at their home in their own facility. So
right.
like, the conditions that they're probably used to may not be, up to par. Now, I don't know where they're practicing at. I don't know what the conditions are over there. So I'm not going to say anything about like, oh, that's an excuse or that's valid or whatever. Honestly, I would rather than be like, look, practice however you can with whatever you got. Just make the best out of it, and then come around Sunday when you're playing on that field for real. Let's see what you got, because you've pointed this out multiple times to where like they chirped. The 49ers. They did say had Brock not gotten hurt last year in the NFC Championship game, that they should have been the ones in the Super Bowl, and now they're here. So it's time to put up. It's time to make do with what y'all said.
Because the reason I say that is because like Eagles ain't make no excuse, and the more chirping I'm hearing, like, bro, I don't want it to be like, yo, in case something goes wrong. Yeah, man, we didn't get to practice the practice field. We didn't get to run our stuff the way we wanted. Hey, everybody playing on the same field now. Hey, that's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. Like I said, then again, like Super Bowl going Super Bowl. Like, who you got? Who you got in this? Who you got in this?
I got San Francisco, but something's telling me Kansas City. I don't know I don't know. I want San Francisco to win, but I'm feeling Kansas City. I don't know. Like, I'm 70-30 San Francisco right now. I think San Francisco, I want to see them win it. But I got a weird feeling Kansas City might get their third. I don't know. Well, I'll have to see.
I mean, like,
I have no dog in this fight. I have no favorites. I'm just gonna watch it. I'm just gonna go ahead and watch the game for whoever.
Yep. And speaking of dogs in a fight, Eagles will be the home team in this international game coming up next season.
Oh, that's right. Your Philadelphia Eagles will be hosting their Week 1 opener in Brazil. How do you
Brazil
feel
is beautiful, man.
How do we feel about the Eagles hosting in Brazil? Because like I know they've had games in Mexico, they've had games in England, they had one this past season in Germany, a few of them. So like, how do we feel about the Eagles playing in Brazil?
I'm with it. I think it's cool. I think these international games are cool because I'd be shocked that some of the international people they really like the NFL. Like they really be out there. When you go to everybody have on everybody jersey. It ain't like there's no Eagles. Like it's everybody. You see Cowboys, Giants, Patriots. Like y'all really? First of all, how early do y'all gotta wake up to see these games? Cause like man, y'all really be chimed in. Like I ain't bet.
Bro, like if you think about it, these international games they usually be playing by like 7, 8 o'clock. Like right, like around 9. I think like they start around 9:30 in the morning.
Man, you be just getting up out of bed, going to church, or doing what they get ready for work. Like you got to see these games. Like man, like I'm excited for it. Like even with the Eagles going, I like what we're doing with the coordinator now. We stepping it up. Everything looking defense. Everything looking good now. So hey, Shannon, what's his name? Kyle. What's his name from the Cowboys? Who was
Kellen Moore.
Kellen Moore. We got him.
So yeah, I did get Kellen Moore.
So like, I'm excited about what we got going on. I ain't shook. I ain't worried about nothing. I'm like, all right, cool. like I said, it's how we ended this year. That's kind of all right now. Y'all got to make up for this. Like, all right. So
yeah, let's talk about that. Let's talk about it real quick because I want to get your perspective. I don't think I asked you this question, but as an Eagles fan, overall, how would you grade this season from a scale of A to F?
A to F, I give it honestly a C minus. Cause it's like it's kind of like it's kind of like you start good at the beginning of your we're gonna put it like we're gonna do freshman year in high school, right?
Okay.
Freshman year, like the expectations ain't high because you a freshman, all cool, like stuff we don't count till you get like your junior, like everything counts, but like like okay, I gotta pass because I don't want to be a second year senior. So I would say there's wiggle room to mess up because you can clean it up towards that second semester. And like first semester, you getting all A's, you doing good. Then second semester, you start falling off. You getting B's and C's. Like you're not getting a D or an F. Like yo, what happened in the first half? Like what happened? Like I felt like, and I don't want to say the Niners because they still bring all the Niners. The Niners still talk about the Eagles. Like all right, it's over, guys. Quit talking about it. But I'm like, I don't want to say that was nothing that like shook the Eagles up. Like you lose games all the time. I don't want to say that was a blow. It's like I think something internally happened and they just never recovered. Because like, how do you start 10-1 and just
like pretty much lose your last 6 out of 7?
Yeah, I'm like, I think they like F it. It is what it is. My thing was I want to say they got comfortable. Like, we already got the end of, we already got this locked up. It don't matter.
Right.
And they didn't take it seriously. They slept on teams they shouldn't have slept on.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Do you feel like, because when I was watching the wild card game versus Tampa Bay, you could see like the intensity or whatever that Tampa Bay was playing with. Like they were a team that pretty much they weren't even supposed to be in the dance to begin with. Philadelphia, like they're expected to be there. They're expected to be like the NFC's best team and whatever. But like,
and we run it.
But like to see them in a wild card game and then to like see the lack of effort.
You know what I think it is too?
The offense was more like chuck it up and see what happens. Like y'all didn't play the game that you wanted to. It was like it was weird. Like it was exciting for Tampa because like again they're 9-8. They were a team that wasn't supposed to even be win. They weren't even supposed to win the division. They win the division. They're hosting a playoff game. They beat the Eagles. They go to Detroit. But like Philadelphia was just like, yes, it just something didn't mesh.
I think what it is, I can say, like I say, now I can honestly say this: even if we did beat the goddamn Tampa, I don't see us winning against
Detroit.
Detroit. I don't see that. I don't see.
That's what I was thinking to myself too. I was like watching the game and I was like, when y'all had scored that touchdown, when Philly had scored the touchdown and they had brought it to like 6 or 7 points or whatever. I remember I had texted you. I was like, yo, this could be a game again. And you're like, I don't know. And I was thinking about it. I was like, if Philadelphia somehow comes back to win this game, they got to play Detroit. And Detroit's red hot right now. And I just don't see how Detroit loses at home.
And then
especially if Philly's playing like this.
And maybe they would have woke up at that time. Maybe they would have snapped out of it. But I'll say, but then it's like I just don't see them making it past Detroit or the Niners. And it goes back to the Niners and Detroit. I felt like if Detroit would have won, it would have been like, you got to go now. You're playing a pissed off Patrick Mahomes because you embarrassed us at home. Now we got to get out. Now we really got to get our leg back. Now my concern is with the Niners. all biases aside, I'm talking about this from an analyst standpoint.
Okay.
If the 49ers play the way they played against Detroit, they're not winning this game. Because you cannot let that man from White House, Texas, who's known from doing insane things with a football.
Yeah.
We've seen him keep the way he kept that play alive against Baltimore. I don't know how he ain't get sacked. He just running around. He literally ran in a circle and then get touched. Like, he could keep a play alive.
Yeah, he can.
And if you let them get just a smidgen of a lead, you're not getting it back. Even if you get the lead on them, you got to run that lead up. You got to get 50. You got to get 40 in the first quarter, in the first half. That's the only way you can win this game. Because if you get into a shootout, let's be real, the pressure's on Brock Purdy. You ain't played in a Super Bowl before. This is your first Super Bowl. The pressure is on. These guys over here already been there. They already know how to act.
Yeah, they're used to it already.
So, like, they was just there last year. So, like, this ain't nothing new. So, like, you got to go in there. All right, Patrick, we ain't scared of you. You're not going to Debo us. We got Debo.
You know what I think? The way that I look at this game,
talk to me, brother.
The way that I'm looking at this game right now, this is gonna have to be a Christian McCaffrey game. This is gonna have to be a CMC legacy game.
So what if they shut him down? Well, they're like, all right, we know you're gonna run. We got it. You're gonna shut that down. We know you're gonna go to Debo.
Here's the thing, though. They could try to shut it down, but Mina Kimes brought this up, and I listened to it like yesterday or earlier today. She was bringing up the points about like the run game, Kansas City versus San Francisco.
Right.
Kansas City is bottom of the league when it comes to running, their run defense. San Francisco is like top 5. Okay. They've allowed the most, like Kansas City has allowed the most yardage when it comes to running the ball. And when it comes to the ground game, you know, San Francisco has been able to generate a lot of their offense from it. And my thing is this, if they can get Christian McCaffrey going early, like they can get the run game going. Because the reason why they struggled versus Detroit in the first half was because Detroit was bringing, they have a really good defensive front. They have a really good front seven. So they were able to like somewhat plug the holes and keep McCaffrey in check. But like once the 49ers figured out how to adjust versus Detroit and they were able to like get the ball rolling and they were able to get the momentum shifted on their side and they were able to get McCaffrey going, it was hard for Detroit to even keep up with him. And my thing is, if you can get Christian McCaffrey going on the edge, if you can get him going on the outside and you can open up those holes, you can get him going on the inside, it opens up your playbook. It opens you up to getting the ball to Debo, whether it be a short pass, a jet sweep, whether it be one of them like designed play action boot plays or whatever, RPOs, whatever. You get Christian McCaffrey going, now the defense is going to have to look to him. And if they have to look to him, now they're missing guys like George Kittle. Now they're missing guys like Juszczyk. Now they're missing guys like Debo and Ayuk and Jennings. Now they're missing their assignments because now you're bringing one guy over. They're going to utilize a lot of motion. They're going to utilize a lot of the factors, the quick passing, the quick game when it comes to like getting on the ball or whatnot. If they're able to like get sustained, healthy drives going and keep Mahomes off the field for extended amounts of time, San Francisco can dictate this game, like what Kansas City did versus Baltimore. Kansas City had the ball more than Baltimore. Like Baltimore didn't have that many plays versus what Kansas City had.
Right.
They weren't able to generate the offense that Baltimore is used to. And also like the only reason they weren't able to really generate the offense is because they got away from the one thing that worked, which was running the ball.
And you know what's what I can applaud the Kansas City from doing? Once they get that lead and they see it's like 3 minutes left on the clock, they just milk the clock. They get down the field, score a touchdown, or they'll kneel it and run the clock out, make you go all the way down the field to see if you can. I hate that so much. It's like, damn it, y'all cold for that. But I say this. This is why I kind of have a distaste for Detroit now.
A distaste?
Distaste for Detroit. Let me tell you why. I don't feel. That's why I'm not. That's why I say I don't buy too much stock in the Detroit Lions, because you had it. You was right there. You let up. There's no You think put it this way: if you playing Brady and you get the score up, because we seen people do it, and you allow these people to go in the locker room and rejuvenate, and all right, we got it, and you let off the gas, why? You deserve to lose that game. And I hate seeing that. Look what Green Bay did to Dallas. They got the lead and never gave it back. They got it and never gave it back. I love leads when you start off hot and you never get a lead back. You don't even got a chance to get it back. Everything that could go wrong can go wrong for you. And that the 49ers handed y'all that game. It's like playing Madden. I play Madden with a few people. I'm like, yo, you hustling me right now, aren't you? You trying to, because you're not gonna, like, you let me get this score if you're not getting it back. So you better play like you want to play.
Yeah.
Because don't try to let me run this score. They're trying to make you're not getting this ball back.
Right.
I promise you, if you playing Madden against me and you got the, like, I'm gonna let him get his confidence talk, you're not getting it back. I've done that with a few people. I've done it to Izzy. He's run that back on me. I've done it. We ran games back and forth on each other. It's like, yo, I played with other people. Like, bro, I got the lead. The lead does not. I'm not giving it back.
Facts.
If you get, it's like you better. Like, I'm like, that's why, like, Detroit. What did you do wrong? Like,
I don't think it was what they. I don't think it was what they did wrong. I just look at San Francisco as like. I felt as I was watching the game, yeah, Detroit started hot and like they had their foot on the gas and they were just like dominating.
Why did they stop though? Like, tell me why. Nobody has an answer for that.
I don't think it was that Detroit took their foot off the gas. I just feel like San Francisco adjusted. That's what makes you have good teams, great teams, and elite teams. Okay.
Okay.
So good teams, like let's say Tampa, we'll give them, we'll put them in the good team status.
Okay.
Green Bay, they're good. You know,
Green Bay gonna be a problem. Like, man, Green Bay gonna be.
But here's the thing, though. But let me just go ahead and say this: Tampa, Green Bay, Houston, good teams.
Mm-hmm.
They're good teams. It's just that once they got to the next level and things got a little bit dicey, or like they had a little bit of control, they weren't really able to maintain that and adjust appropriately when the other team adjusted. You got teams like San Francisco. You got teams like Kansas City. You got teams like Buffalo, Cincinnati, Philadelphia. They adjust.
Right.
Maybe down, but you better be sure. And I'll even put Dallas for the most part. Dallas is in this list too, where like, you know, for a fact that yes, you might have their number for a second, but they're gonna adjust and they're gonna make a comeback and they're gonna make the critical plays that they need to. And what we saw was Detroit being a good team, becoming a great team, but they went up against an elite team. Right. And the thing is, yeah, they play great. Like, they went toe to toe with each other. Let's not get it twisted. It wasn't like Detroit fully collapsed and like they got blown out after they got that lead. Let's not go that route.
Right.
San Francisco was able to adjust. They were able to get the lead back. They were able to get the critical stops. They were able to get the turnover that they needed. And then they were pretty much able to dictate how Detroit was going to play their game. when Detroit was trying to dictate how San Francisco was going to play. But it's
Right.
like you have a team that's in the position that they're in. They're in a spot where like they I guess in my eyes,
Talk to me.
I guess in my eyes, they knew what Detroit was going to be. They knew what Detroit was going to bring to the table? They just weren't ready for how quick they were going to strike first.
Man,
They thought Detroit was going to, take a little bit of time to like get down the field. They didn't expect Detroit to get down the field in like near 4 minutes,
look,
especially on a 54-yard run.
bro,
They didn't expect that. That's
Detroit
what
did.
like shook them up a bit. They're like, that was kind of like getting punched in the stomach. Like
That's like that. It's kind of like there was a game back in the day, like way back, about 4 years ago.
yeah,
You seen game like this? The Eagles versus the Commanders. First drive, Deshaun Watson on the left, on the right. Screen. It was a slant.
John.
Deshaun Jackson, yes. So Carson.
Oh, yeah.
So,
You said Deshaun Watson. I was like, eh.
I was like, why is Jackson? You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Eagles, what I'm talking about. But anyway, so it was a slant. First drive of the play, Wentz, boom, dropped it to boom, right to the house. That's what happened. Like they got down that field fast. When you start fast, like gosh, damn, like they just started like that. And that's what Green Bay did to Dallas.
Mm-hmm.
They started so fast. Like if you blink, you would have missed it. It's like I like games like that where people think, you know what? You're not gonna beat us. You're not gonna you ain't gonna punk us. And I'm like, that's why I'm like Detroit, all right. But when halftime hit, I mean, this game is over. I text this man, like, yo, this game is over. 49 about to come back. He's like, nah, man, there's still some game. Let me watch this. And like clockwork, boom, they got the lead back. Touchdown, fumble, touchdown. Like, told you. I saw it coming. And I told him, if Brock plays like this, they're not winning. They are not winning the Super Bowl. I'll guarantee. If they play like that, they're not winning. I don't care how confident Brock Purdy is. If you play like that against a team that knows how to play under the big lights, because there's a difference between Monday Night Football lights, Thursday Night Football lights, and Sunday football nights. The lights get no brighter in the Super Bowl. Everybody watch. Mm-hmm. People don't even watch football, watch the Super Bowl. Just for this, I gotta see these commercials. Everybody like. Yeah. It seems like everything, like the build up is long. Everything is like the national anthem seems longer. Kickoff seems like it takes forever. Like, man, it's been 45 minutes before the kick the damn ball off. It's like, man, it's like
I didn't have my 3 slices of pizza, my beer, dude. Let's go.
I'm on my 5th beer, and this ain't even a kick out. They ain't kicked the ball yet. It's like everything seemed like under a microscope. Like, man, it's like, whoo, this is every drive seemed like it's forever.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, man, the burn half the man. It's 2 minutes left. Did the field get longer? Like, man, like Super Bowl is different, bro.
It's a different animal. It's gonna be a good one though. Like, this is the rematch from the last time these two teams played. Can you believe that they played? Like, this game happened in 2020. It's been 4 years from this point.
Yeah.
It's gonna be an interesting game. I'll give you that much. Like I said, I want to see San Francisco get this one, but I don't know. I feel like Kansas City might get it, so we'll see how it shake out.
Speaking of shakeouts,
boy, shake-ups. You mean?
Do we want to start with the bad or the real bad? Let's do the real bad. Let's get that over with. So Vincent Kennedy McMahon, this man, I don't know how. Like I said, it's a touchy topic. I didn't read the whole 72-page thing. Like, it gets there. I don't know. It's like, bro, like, all I'm saying is this: My homegirl who ain't watched wrestling in a year, like, yo, she even said, like, yo, they've been trying to get Vince McMahon since the steroid trial. Like, yes, I think this gonna be the one that finally gets him. Like, after he won that steroid trial, beat that, he was rubbing it in their face. Like, yeah, I got it. Yeah, he got that off with that. Like, it ain't looking too good. And they say there's more names in the documents that we don't know whose name is all like the person 1, person 2, and 3. Like, yo, I'm like, bro, who? And people throwing Vince under the bus. Like, yeah, man, I don't know about this one. Like,
not only him, but there's another person that's involved that got removed pretty much from everything.
Brock Lesnar.
Brock Lesnar. He got removed from WWE 2K games, their app, their video game. His stuff is on clearance. Like, they are pretty much getting rid of his stuff entirely. Any plans that he was supposed to be a part of for this WrestleMania season have been nixed altogether. So it's bad. This is one of the craziest situations where, like, it's bad when, remember when Vince supposedly retired and then came back? It's bad when he retires, when he steps down, and like he steps down for good.
Look, I knew something was up. It also, you know how stuff starts to make sense. You start putting 2 and 2 together. Like, oh, wait a minute. Remember when Brock Lesnar had that whole fit and he left? I think it was like, for what pay-per-view was it? It wasn't very long. What pay-per-view was it? It was when the stuff first happened and he walked out. I think he was supposed to be on Raw. It was some pay-per-view. And he walked out. And they had to beg him to come back because Vince was getting a boot. And it all dawned on me. Then now the whole thing with Brock Lesnar is entangled.
It's tied in.
So I'm like, you know what? I told our boy Drew, I'm like, you know what I think what it was? I think Brock Lesnar got scared because he like, yo, I did this and wild stuff. He may snitch on me. So let me pick the side. Let me pick this side real quick because it was just too wild for somebody who, like, what he being accused of? Why would you stick up for somebody like that?
And then you find out that he was somewhat involved in it as well.
Exactly. So it's like now, for the sake of all of this alleged, now John Laurinaitis is like, yo, I was a victim too. Like, hey.
That's what threw me off. I'm like, John Laurinaitis, the executive vice president of talent relations.
That's what we doing. That's what we doing. That's what we at.
I like people.
We not stop. We not doing. Ain't no people power with that fool now.
But no, like when he somewhat popped up as like, oh yeah, like the truth is gonna come out. I was like, wait a minute, whoa, hold on now. What do you mean? What do you mean? Like, you hit what? What are you talking about? But like, you know what's crazy?
What's up?
I think you had sent me a clip.
Yeah,
it was a promo that Stephanie McMahon had done with Vince. It was like when. Do you remember the storyline with Zach Gowen?
Yeah, I remember that. That was the one. Oh yeah.
Yeah. So like, I remember watching that clip when everything first had broken down, when everything had first like popped off, right? And you hear her kind of like promo, and she basically is saying that I did things that I didn't want to do, but I did it for you because you asked me to do it or whatever. And like, I hate that I did this and blah, blah, blah. I had to listen to it over again. That second time I listened to it, I was like, is this a shoot? Was she firing? Was she shooting off at her dad over this? Or was like,
what they always say, life imitates art.
Mm-hmm.
And I was always told that there is some truth that lies in some things.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, like, this is the same man. You got to think about it. I wouldn't put nothing past Vince. Because it's the same man that wanted to do an incest storyline with his own daughter. The interview was still like, yeah, when she got pregnant with her first child, it felt like, yo, we could do this to angle where I'm the like. She's like, nah, we're not doing that. Okay. Shane's like, absolutely not. So I wouldn't put nothing past.
I think Kurt Angle had a story like that where like him and Steph were supposed to be like a thing, and like Vince was watching or whatever, and then like you could tell he kind of was like, yeah, I could tell he was kind of getting a little too aroused over it or whatever, and I was like, what in the heck is going on?
Look, I wouldn't put nothing past Vince McMahon. I'm not stupid. We're not stupid. Like, I wouldn't put nothing past him, because Lord knows that some of these people are into, and like I told you, Lord knows that when you got that kind of money, and then this fool signed the NDA that he drew up himself. Then they're like, we didn't. Nah, this ain't. You can't. Throw that. They're like, no.
Wait, what?
Oh, you didn't? I didn't see you that.
Hmm.
So I'm paraphrasing. He did his own NDA, signed it, but WWE didn't approve of it. He didn't clear about WWE.
Really?
He drew up his own NDA. And like, yeah, they like WWE. Like, nah, bro, we're not having that, bro.
Wow. And
there's layers to this. It's like saying it can't get no worse, and it gets worse.
Well, you know, it's wild that we're talking about this said subject, because if anybody has been paying attention to WWE after all has happened, you know that we are officially on the road to WrestleMania.
Oh, speaking of, peep that, I just sent it to you.
Okay, bet.
Check that out real quick.
All right.
And we're on the road to WrestleMania, and it ain't. And the road is real bumpy right now. The road is bumpy as hell.
Boy, so the road is not only bumpy as hell, but like the road is like.
Now go ahead and read that. What I sent you. Then we're gonna talk about it. Let me go ahead and read that. Let me know.
I haven't got it yet.
I ain't sent it to you. Hold on, I'll send it to you again. Boom.
Oh, there it is. Okay, there it is. Up.
Go ahead, take a gander at that, my boy.
Okay. Vince McMahon drafted and signed NDAs without WWE's knowledge. Tim Marchman of Vice.com reports. Tim Marchman notes that all the NDAs that were signed by several women with Vince McMahon were created and signed without knowledge of WWE, as McMahon signed them on the company's behalf. Wow.
Yep. And WWE like, nope, can't do that, player. So ain't no telling what's gonna come out now. Like I'm saying, it's like saying it can't get no worse. Like your day can't get no worse. And you go out there, you got a flat tire. Like, damn, my day can't get no. Like you wake up like man, this can't get any worse. Then the hot water ain't working. Like, damn, day can't get no worse. You got no flat tire. You get air in tire. Then you get a tire. Ain't no gas in your car. Like, man. That's been like nothing. Everything he did to protect himself is like nope. It gets worse, and then people forget like last few months, like a year or so ago, the feds raided his house. They did a raid at his house. Like like this ain't looking good for that boy.
But you know what? It's not looking good for your boy. It's not looking good for the company. But you know who else it ain't looking good for right now? Or who's getting...
Are we going down a long road? Is it dusty?
But like this.
Going down a dusty road?
Hey, I see what you're doing there. So we got to talk about this. Cody Rhodes comes back to WWE.
Yep.
Goes on, wins the Royal Rumble last year, takes on Roman Reigns. He loses that match in WrestleMania, and now he's basically on this tour de force of pretty much finishing the story.
Mm-hmm.
Goes to the Royal Rumble. It's him. It's CM Punk. They're the final two. CM Punk tears his tricep. He gets hurt, and then Cody Rhodes ends up winning the match. Back-to-back Royal Rumble wins. And now if anybody watched the Royal Rumble like we watched it, we saw the illustrious moment where he throws Punk over, he climbs up on the turnbuckle, he does the infamous two kisses and a gunshot and points to the sign. And then he looks over to Roman Reigns where he's sitting in the press box, points over to him and says, you, I got you, whatever, right? Goes on Monday night. He's going to talk about it. Seth Rollins comes out and then plants a little thing in his head of like, yo, I don't want you to fight Roman. I want you to fight me, blah, blah, blah. And then he goes on to Friday Night SmackDown and basically tells Roman, I'm coming for you, but not at WrestleMania. Talks about some contemporaries that he's been talking to, and all of a sudden you hear The Rock's music play. The Rock comes out, has the illustrious, the face-to-face, and then it just becomes an entire thing where like people are pissed. And the one thing I've noticed, the one thing I've seen is people asking the same exact question. Why did Cody win the Rumble if Rock was going to happen? And the thing is, though, at first we didn't know, but then all of a sudden you start finding out through multiple articles and sources and whatnot that, one, The Rock was pushing for this to happen. He was pushing for The Rock and Roman to happen at WrestleMania.
Mm-hmm.
This wasn't to politic Cody. This wasn't to politic Cody out of his spot, but this was because The Rock had signed on as an executive member of the TKO brand, and this is like a bonus check for him.
Mm-hmm.
And now supposedly this Thursday they're gonna have like a WrestleMania style press conference, and they're gonna formally, I guess, announce the match or something like that. And like everybody's pretty much saying put
it like this.
It's gotten.
I got you. Gather yourself. I got
you. Yeah, help me out.
So in the world of wrestling, you got something called a work and a shoot. Shooting is I punch Izzy in the face for real. Working is like it looks like I'm hitting them, but it's not. It's a one of them. It looks still it's not.
Or or if you think about it, a work is if we have a promo, or which is a dialogue. I say something that's scripted, he knows about, it's been okayed, we run with it. A shoot is where I pretty much bring something up out of left field that's personal that he wasn't ready for, and it kind of like you can see that I hit a button that I wasn't supposed to.
Yep. And so with that, people saying this is a work now. Like they're saying The Rock came back to work the crowd, to sell WrestleMania tickets. It's like, I told my boy just this morning, I'm like, bro, you don't have to sell this anymore. We're already sold on this. Like, there's nothing you can do. And I'm like, I said, it's kind of funny that as soon as The Rock gets, I forget his position with Endeavor and TKO. I forget what his role is.
Yeah.
I guess I don't know his role.
That's good.
I don't know it, but like I don't get what his role is at TKO and whatnot. But it's kind of funny that as soon as he got that, this happens. Now, let's go forward with this. So I'm like everybody was saying, like, what was the point of having if you was going to have Cody versus Roman at do Rock versus Roman? Why even set this up? There's no point. You could have had The Rock in the Rumble and have him win it. That would have made more sense.
Right.
And now you got Roman pretty much telling the truth because he ain't lying. Like, yo, that is a secondary title. They made that title because nobody could beat me. I beat everybody that's fighting for that title. I've already beaten. So I'm the guy. You're fighting for a second, what is it called? A consolation prize belt, right. Which is absolutely true. Which negates everything Cody's been saying. It just throws out everything. It contradicts everything Cody has said about what Roman said. So it's like, okay, why?
Which is funny though, because the Friday night SmackDown where he was talking to Roman, he mentioned that. He was like, look, the one thing I'm gonna disagree with Seth on is he calls that the Hollywood title. And that's not a Hollywood title. That's the title that my dad held in his hands, but it was taken away from him. That's the title I want, and I still want it. And you're right. And you're right about that. And also, like you're right about that, but also, I think it was Roman even said, like, look, like that belt that Seth has, that's like that belt was made because no one could touch this.
Yeah.
Like, if you want, you can be the number 2. You can be the best number 2, or you could come after this one and be the guy.
Mm-hmm.
And we all know that Cody, and I think everybody was like adamant on like Cody finishing the story. Like, why? Like, he wins the Rumble. We all know where he's gonna go, and then all of a sudden, this plays out. So now it's like, at first you're wondering, like, okay, well, what was the point? And then you start reading little things, little articles or whatever. And I think it was through was it Wrestle? Let me see. There was I think it was like Wrestle Ops or Fightful.
Probably was Fightful. Fight will be posting everything.
But yeah, I think it was like Fightful. They were talking about how WWE, how here it is. Here's something. Sources within WWE say that Cody is a company man and has long respected WWE's decision making, but claim Cody actually voiced that the thought the audience wouldn't react well to the change in creative direction for Mania before last Friday. So, it looks like Cody kind of knew what was going on before it happened.
Yep, and I heard something about this is all a work and only certain people know what's going on. I read that this morning. Somebody said like this is all a work and only a select few people know what's going on. And I'm like this ain't, like I said, this ain't the way. Cause me and the buddy was talking today. I'm like, bro.
Oh, here it is.
I talked to him.
Hold on, let me see. So it looks like, let me see. There's a Sean Ross. Let me see. From the 434, The Rock is 100% behind Cody Rhodes. Per WOR, it's been revealed through Raw overnight that The Rock is 100% behind Cody Rhodes and is strongly pushing the We Want Cody movement. Rock informed staff to hand out hundreds of signs to fans as they entered the building for WWE to acknowledge the movement. It's being said that The Rock wants to make Cody bigger than the Bryan movement back in 2014 and believes WWE dropped the ball then and doesn't want to do that again. Bryan Gewirtz was seen smiling a lot backstage and seems very happy with how things are turning around across social media. But then Sean Ross comes out and says, not only is this not true, Dave Meltzer has never reported this. Random Facebook pages are rarely responsible for aggregators. That one outright makes things up. So there is there is word. I've also heard that there is something along the lines of like, WWE has paid attention to the We Want Cody movement. They've acknowledged it. And like they're trying to use this as like and they're trying to use this momentum now, and they possibly could. But then again, though, it's like the situation is this is like, is WWE trying to make Cody Rhodes the next Daniel Bryan? Is that what they're trying to do?
I mean,
Because you have to understand this. Like when WWE posted the video of the SmackDown interaction between The Rock and Roman Reigns, like it had over 200,000 dislikes in like a matter of like a couple hours.
mm-hmm.
And within 24 hours, it was like close to like it was about like 900,000 dislikes or whatever. Like
Mm-hmm.
it didn't like it trended. Like the fans were letting people know like, yo, we're not feeling this right now.
You know what I feel though?
Yeah.
I feel like the yes move, the two movements in WWE that was organically made was the yes and the Kofi Mania. Those are the two movements that happened organically. Like Daniel Bryan, like you throw Batista in the mix for no reason. And now you got Daniel Bryan. That was the yes movement was crazy. And as for Kofi and Mustafa Ali didn't get injured, there would be no Kofi Mania.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And as a black man, seeing Kofi Kingston win the title was a big thing for a lot of people.
Oh man, I enjoyed that one.
And you go back and you see God Bless the Dead, Shad Gaspar, and MVP in fighting back tears.
Bruh.
Grown men holding back tears like they like you felt something that night. Like as a myself, I'm like, man, this is like, and like this is no discredit to The Rock, but I look like Kofi Kingston. I am like The Rock is cool, but like it's been years since The Rock. It's like this was and you won the main belt. This is the heavyweight title. Like, yo, this is big.
Bro, like what made it even special?
Talk to me.
What made it even more special?
What was it?
Kofi Kingston win at WrestleMania was that you had Austin, Creed, you had Big E. They were both there celebrating with him. But then you see
Austin was in tears.
Bro, he was in tears. But not only that, this man right here walks over with the other belt in his hand, gets rid of it, and you see like this podium with this
Big E, E picked it up. Yeah, I remember that.
You see the podium there, you see like the little the cover. He takes it off and you see the belt with his name, his belt plates already on there. And like you just see the elation in his face or whatever, in Austin's face and whatever. I'm just like,
he didn't know. You could tell they didn't know. They're like, yo, he really won. Like he was like, you could tell when nobody knows what's going on. Like, yo, they did not see that coming. So that was real too. Like I say, I feel like with Cody, like we already sold. Like, what can The Rock bring to this to make it like, oh, I really want? Like, there's nothing more we want to see. We already sold.
But the crazy part is, if you paid attention to last night's Monday Night Raw, Cody never really gave an announcement.
He didn't.
He really did not make a choice.
I'm gonna sell you a match real quick. Tell me if this is a hard sell. I'm gonna put this at WrestleMania.
Okay.
I'm gonna make it night one main event. Will Ospreay versus Ricochet versus what's my man name? Van Kingo. How you pronounce it? Yeah. In the main event, no, screw that. Throw him out. Just Will Ospreay versus Ricochet. We talk about New Japan style. Them going all out. Like they give them a whole 45 minutes to do their thing. Do anything else you got to get sold on that match? Is that like,
bro? That match would for those people who know what Ricochet is about, they followed him all throughout the indie scene, and then you add in Will Ospreay, someone that he has had battles with while in New Japan, bro. The people who have never seen that matchup before, or who have no idea what those two are capable of as a unit, they wouldn't know what to do with themselves.
I'm gonna sell you another one. WrestleMania Night 2.
Okay.
AJ Styles
Mm-hmm.
versus Okada.
Okada is a free agent.
I'm gonna do you one better. Is this Shinsuke Nakamura versus Okada? I messed you up on that one. I hit you in the soul with that one. Is that a match?
That's a match. That is a prime New Japan That's a prime IWGP heavyweight title match right there.
Do we need the Great Muta to come out to do something and make this match? No, we sold on it. Like I'm talking about the wrestling enthusiasts like myself, Izzy, because a lot of y'all are still wet behind the ears. Y'all ain't got enough years under y'all belt to be sitting at our table. I'm talking like,
hey. How did Jay Briscoe and Mark Briscoe tell him one time? Put the tape on. Put the tapes on.
Put it on. Like
put the DVDs on and check our resume.
It's like we really out. Like you don't have to sell me on this Cody versus Roman because it's already the match sells itself,
bro. Like the storyline has been built. The storyline has been built already up to this point, and I've been seeing a lot of people like giving their 2 cents on like how they would book the match versus where it is right now, and like the overall arcing thing that I've seen, and I know this would work. Like this would be 10 times 10. This would probably work. Cody, Roman at Mania, whether it be night 2, like night 2, or night 1, night 2, however they're gonna do it this year, right? Main event. They're battling Jimmy or Solo. They try to interfere, and then all of a sudden you hear the Rock's music hit. He comes out, gets involved on Cody's behalf. Cody wins the belt, and then now you have the Rock and Roman. You have this. You have Jay come out to interfere to help, level the playing field for Cody when Jimmy gets involved. And then when Solo gets involved, that's when The Rock comes out. And now you have this entire thing of like The Rock versus Roman. Now you have that actual like tribal battle between The Rock and Roman for who's going to be the head of the table.
Mm-hmm.
You could build that story all the way up. But what we're hearing is what we're seeing and what we're hearing is that Cody is supposed to challenge Seth at Mania for the belt. He's supposed to win. And then supposedly he's going to have a unification match. That's supposed to be, he's going to challenge for that belt or whatever. And I'm like, why did we have 2 belts? Why did we have 2 belts in the first place? We separated the belts because Roman was.
Talk to him.
The reason we have the 2 belts is because Roman was seldomly defending the belt. And look, I understand the reason for it. I get why he is doing that. For the longest time, you've had WWE champions defend the belt every given moment. And yes, it is fun to have those type of matches. But what Roman is doing, not only is he setting the record for like the longest title reign and whatever, but like he's adding that flair of like, look, when you like, if you really think about a championship belt, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like think about it like this: boxing, UFC, right?
Mm-hmm.
Championship belts. You don't have a championship match every month. You have them every 3 to 4 months or so.
Yep.
So I guess that's the route they're trying to do. They're trying to like have this exclusivity. They're trying to make these title matches exclusive to where like every time you watch it, you have to pay attention. And like it draws your attention, like, yo, who's gonna win? But like not only that, like Drew McIntyre said it on Monday. He's like, look, like you look at like no one wants to challenge for Roman Reigns' belt because we know how that's gonna end. You challenge for this one right here. This is the workhorse belt. This is may the better man win. Like we've had outside interference. It's happened to me. It's happened to Cody. Like Drew wasn't lying. Every time you watch the Roman Reigns title match, there's always been some sort of outside interference to help him win.
Yep.
And like, do we see that happening this time around if Roman and The Rock are really going to if it's going to really happen? Like, is that going to be a thing?
Right.
Like, and I'm like, look, I was watching a YouTuber goes by the name of his name is Ross. He said this. He's like, "Do I believe that The Rock is going to beat Roman at WrestleMania? No, I don't think so. Because look, if The Rock can't beat Roman, then who can? I don't even think Cody can do it. But like, that's not what I don't want to even see that. Like, there's a lot that's being intertwined right now in this moment with Cody and WWE and The Rock and Roman and Seth. And like, I think Seth was supposed to be facing CM Punk.
Yep. And you know what? Then we're gonna get about here. We're gonna get about here. I feel like with this, it's kind of like I said, me and my boy Drew, our boy Drew was talking. He was like, bro, what can they do? Like, what can I like, bro? The only way this could work, Roman would have to, because we just talked about this morning. My boy made a great, this is the best point he made, because we had this conversation for 3 days so far. He said, yo, Roman had to pull a double duty. Because Roman thing is like, yo, I either start the show or end the show. So what you do is you would have to have Rock and Roman Night 1 open WrestleMania. So he could get that match out the way, leave, rest up, hit the ice bath. Cool. It ain't gonna be a long match because The Rock, he ain't wrestling no 15-minute match. This match ain't gonna go 15. This match ain't gonna go 5 minutes. So get
I think this match will probably be like a 15-minute match. I wouldn't go past.
You really think The Rock can hit the rope for 15 minutes? He ain't been in the ring for 15 years.
Okay, 10 minutes max.
Give me. All right, I give you 10. I give you 10. Then get him out early.
I think what 5 is too short, 15 is too long, 10. Call it even.
I give 10 is fair. 10 is fair. So then the big match, main evented night 2. But then it got to the part where we was conflicted. Like, yo, what up? People like, yo, we don't get a WrestleMania moment. Everybody not gonna get a WrestleMania moment. Everybody don't get those. Nope. So it's like, if The Rock is your big payday, if everybody check is like, if your check, I don't know how WrestleMania checks work. If a WrestleMania check is like 25,000 for a WrestleMania check, everybody that and it's shoot 40,000. Hey, forget my WrestleMania moment. I'm paid. My check is a little fatter than it was before.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? My paycheck is gonna be a little more thicker. That The Rock is here, I can like, all right, next year. I can have my moment next year.
You know what though? And to be quite honest, I kind of like that idea. If The Rock, if let's say Cody pulls a swerve and be like, you know what? Because I think Drew brought it yesterday on Monday night. He was like, you know, this, like, he was like, yo, what the hell? Like, he looks at Seth and he's like, this is supposed to be the point where we're talking about our WrestleMania match. And everybody starts cheering. And he's like, oh, y'all like that. And everybody cheered again because that's a match I think everybody wants to see.
Oh, Drew
yeah. Finishing his story over Seth and then Cody finishing his story over Roman. So if we need to make it happen, night 1, Roman, The Rock, they face off in a non-title match. Like The Rock doesn't even put the title on the line.
Yeah.
To preserve Roman's title reign, if they were to make this happen, because from what I've read, The Rock is not only pushed for this match, he's pushed to win this match for Roman if it's going to happen.
Right.
So if that's the case, if this match is being pushed to happen, night 1, Roman versus The Rock, 10 minutes max, because we don't know what The Rock is capable of doing. We don't know how his conditioning is. He hasn't been in the ring in a while. 10 minutes max. And it's a non-title match. It's just strictly between the two.
And then, okay, I put it this way, because then we had another. Oh, man, this video gonna be long as hell.
But it's okay. We brainstorming right now.
So then again, my boy, he told me like, yo, Roman said if he can't be tribal chief without having the title. So I'm like, okay. So if the title of tribal chief is a thing, have like The Rock, I don't want the belt. I want my title back of being tribal chief because I'm the you know, because we didn't grow up on Alpha and Seeker. We didn't grow up on the Wild Samoans. We didn't come in on Rikishi and Tonka Kid. We didn't come in on was it him and Tonka Kid? I forget what it was. Well, that wasn't our era.
Right.
We came in on the Rock era. And the Rock, to be fair, it was bigger than his cousins. Like he was way bigger than his cousin's uncle. You know what I'm saying? So like he was the biggest name in Hollywood. You think of wrestling now, you think, okay, you say you're gonna either hit Stone Cold Rock. You say Attitude Era, you're gonna think of Stone Cold, Rock, Undertaker, people like that. The Rock is the name. So I want my name back, a Tribal Chief. I want that. I don't want that, but I want that. I want that lay around your neck. Give me that. I want that. I'm like, F it, let's do it. Then if he beats The Rock, which he probably will, like, all right, I'm not Tribal Chief no more. All I got is his title. Then he loses the title to Cody. Now it's like, yo, I have nothing left. Then Roman goes away for a while. It is, man, send a song. We're going to be on this joint on there for 5 hours.
Man, this is one of them things where, like, we could talk about this for hours and brainstorm and be like, yo, if we can make this happen, we can make this. Bro, this is the beauty of wrestling as a whole versus, like, you know, the not so fun stuff. It's like you could like just talk about it for hours. But anywho, though, you know who it is. You know who this is. You know what we all about, boy.
June.
It's your boy
Izzy P.
Your boy June. Your boy Westside Izzy P, the baby-faced assassin, is back in action.
And we are out. Thank you. Peace.